What is Love from the album Humans Lib by Howard Jones on Revenge of the 80s Radio. Howard is on with me now. Howard, this track is not really a love song. It was more of a ponderance as to what love really is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's questioning the idea of what romantic love, the idea of romanticized love is, and it's throwing a question in the air. And I think it's really good to question these fundamental things. The third verse kind of is what I really, where I'm saying what I feel about it, which is, maybe love is letting people be just what they want to be, and allowing people to be who they are, and rather than trying to hold on and claim people's lives. It's a questioning song, I hope people have got stimulated to do that.
Well, what inspired you to challenge people's thoughts on that very human but ultimately intangible emotion?
Well, I think it's all my songs have been about challenging preconceptions and really fighting to be who you are and to say what you really think and to make a difference with your life. I mean, that's always been my theme, all through my career.
After all these years, Howard, has that question ever been answered to your satisfaction for you?
Well, really, it's just my view of what love is a kind of a real deep respect for all people and a real respect for the differences that between us, and how we're all so unique, and it's about that real appreciation and respect for every single person, and knowing that everyone's got something different to offer. That's what I would say.
That was one of the great things about your music back in the 80s, Howard. A lot of fun to listen to, but you did take on some tough questions and tough issues in some of your songs.
Yeah, the first track, New Song, it talks about, challenging preconceived ideas and not being afraid to really be who you are and to do the things that you really think are right. It's not usual for a pop song, and I'm really pleased that I actually was brave enough to do that. So because I still feel very, I can still sing those lyrics now with great sort of conviction, and I feel that's probably a great thing.
And of course, Dream Into Action featured the UK hit "Look Mama." That was more about independence.
Yeah. Look, Mama is a dialogue with a parent, really, and lots of, obviously, I was very aware that of my audience, when I was writing those songs, and I was trying to be relevant, but it says, look, Mama, I love you, but you've got to let me live my life. You've got to allow me to make mistakes and be who I am. I can't be. You can't sort of keep me wrapped up in cotton wool for my whole life. It's that kind of dialogue between, a parent and child, really.
Another interesting track was "Like to Get to Know You Well," Howard. More or less, not because of the heavy issues, but you did it in several languages and in some versions multilingual. Talk about that song.
Well, it's a very simple song. It's really about. If we want to change the world, then we really must get to know each other well, and to strengthen our friendship and strengthen the bonds between us, between different countries and different communities. And it's a very simple sentiment, but to me, that's the key of how we're going to resolve a lot of the problems that we have with each other on the planet. If we get to know each other more on a human level, on a family level, day to day, that is what is going to ultimately have, a real huge effect.
In my experience, when they get to know me better, the result's the exact opposite. So maybe that'll backfire one or two times.
Oh, I don't think so, Chris. I think you're being hard on yourself.
I'm always hard on myself. I don't know. I'm my own worst critic, but I think there are a few other people in competition for that worst critic thing. Howard, seeing you on MTV in the 80s, What stood out to me, aside from your unique voice, were the quirky keyboard riffs and the hair. But let's talk music. First, the riffs. While they were surely memorable, at what point when you were writing these songs did you know that you had the perfect keyboard hook?
It was very interesting. With songs like New Song, I was performing them. As soon as I'd written a part of the song, I would be performing it that night, because I was doing 3 or 4 gigs a week, and I had this chance to sort of try out things with my audience on a weekly basis, and so I could feel when people were really liking something and when it was really right, and then I would go back and modify it and change it. So it was kind of R&D, for that first album. I was doing it in front of a live audience. It was great. It was a great way to work, actually.
So what were the most important ingredients to a Howard Jones song in the 1980s? Well,
I mean, I was really into working. I really loved the pop song. I loved the format of it, and I loved the idea that you could sort of tweak it and change it slightly, but it would still have that classic form, but you give it a new twist. And really, a song like New Song, the chorus is actually that keyboard riff, and have lots of things that lots of great little sounds that people can get into. Have some really great lines that people can sing at shows, and it's just trying to create songs that are like uplift people's spirits, and that's what I was really trying to do.
And the hair?
I mean, the hair was totally an expression of freedom to me. I'd been working in a factory just before I got my record deal, and I thought, look, I'm not a bank manager. I've got this really great position to be in music, involved in music, and I'm going to really take advantage of that. I'm going to use all that, fashion and hair to really express a kind of freedom to people, because it takes a lot of nerve and guts to actually walk out on the street and look like that. And I wanted to sort of say to people, you've got this strength of character as well, within you. If I can do it, so you can do it. So it was very important to me to have that expression.
The UK tour in April, Howard, won't be the first time you played the 2 albums, Humans Live and Dream Into Action, in their entirety. There's a DVD available from a 2010 show where you did that at Indigo 2 in 2010. That's good news for those who might not be able to make the tour. Talk about how you get that.
Well, the DVD, you can get it from the website. Just go to howardjones.com and put an order in.
You can get that at howardjones.com, plus the remastered versions of the albums Dream Into Action and Humans Live, available in a box set. You've released some new music over the past decade, but what are some things, Howard, that you have not done yet musically that you'd like to do?
I've done most things. I'd quite like to combine everything that I've done, which is like all the electronics, work with an orchestra or a string section, brass section, backing vocals, choirs. I'd like to sort of at some point draw it all together and do some sort of mega concert at some point.
That's something that will be fun to see. One more time, though, on the tour, Howard. Information on dates will be on Howard Jones' website, howardjones.com. The tour begins Wednesday, April 11th in the UK at O2 Academy, Bristol. He'll be in Sheffield on the 12th. The 13th in Liverpool, the 14th O2 Academy in Birmingham, the 17th of April O2 Academy in Newcastle. On the 18th, he's set for O2 ABC in Glasgow. Friday, April 20th, O2 Academy in Bournemouth. And Saturday, April 21st, O2 Shepherd's Bush Empire in London. You can book online at www.ticketweb.co.uk. That's www.ticketweb.co.uk. Now, Howard, that's not all. You're going to be in Japan, South Africa, and America this year, too. Anywhere else?
Well, I expect there will be loads of other places, but the dates haven't come in yet. But yeah, but that's some of them, yeah.
To check out where Howard Jones is going to be playing, log on to Howard's website, howardjones.com. Howard, thanks again for coming on with me.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
Let's play a cut from Dream into Action, since we've already played a couple from Humans Lib. Here's Look Mama, which hit number 10 in the UK on Revenge of the 80s Radio.